Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here, Safi Financial Network. Today is April 9, 2025. What a day. What a day. And the market just sparking higher to the upside. Fantastic move. I can't remember actually since COVID. I think one of those rallies in COVID crash was 9% in Dow Jones Industrial. Today was one of those days. Market just formed a nicely bottom here, 48.15. This is exactly the same scenario that we were talking about. Market just retested this low. It didn't go down further to 46.47, which was kind of like a potential scenario and sparking higher to the upside. Right now, we are getting into 54 to 5,500. Remember, this level is exactly the level that we were talking about. If market gets back to here, we're gonna see some kind of like a pullback. And I'm not surprised if market just goes down to 5,100 or even 5,200 next couple days. Today was kind of like an overreaction. Today was kind of like an ecstasy to the relief, kind of like a relief on the tariff. As you know, Donald Trump announced the tariff pause for 90 days for many countries. They start negotiation, kind of like in news, it came up. They start to have negotiations with China, which they increase their tariffs to 125%. That's a lot. And market just want to see a good news from tariffs because last few weeks, market just slaughtered to the downside, pouring with bad news. And this overreaction kind of like a flipped over to another overreaction to the upside. I said this is kind of like the overreaction. I'm not saying this is going to be the bottom. I should say this is going to be very interesting pivotal point. This is exactly coming along to my expectation for April low, and April should be positive months. I'm not saying we can't go to new all-time high. We can, but not in months of April. I don't want to say this is the bottom, this is the ultimate bottom because we have months of May and months of June. But right now, let's enjoy the time. Let's just be happy with today's market. Everything flipped up to the upside fantastically. We will go through to individual names. And I'm kind of like a happy because my portfolio, my option trading portfolio, investments, everything. I'm sure that if you are on the long side, it can go higher. Some of you actually are on the short side. But um, today was for bulls, and we should celebrate. S&P 500 reached out to 5740 and sorry, 5470 actually, 5470. I like 5740 by the way. So 5470, and we just reached to important area here. This is the demand area, which breaking through to the downside. The lots of support actually broke into the downside here at this level. So if you see that the previous move, market form a nice dead cat bounce. This is kind of like W pattern, fail to the downside. So the lots of people are going to be sellers here. Remember last time when people just begging for this support, slaughter to the downside in 3 days. So the lots of selling pressure is coming down the road in this area, 54 to 55, even 5600. The lots of selling pressure, folks. And in this wide range bar, usually we're going to have like a pullback. The healthy pullback is going to be 5270, which is the previous bottom here. So if we get back to 5270 and getting back to the upside, I should say market is just forming a very nice pattern for breaking through potentially to 5800. And 5800 is going to be another interesting resistance area. So there are lots of damage has been done to the chart last few weeks. We shouldn't just celebrate with one candle. I know today candle was ecstasy, 240 million SPY traded today. Last few days was amazing. Like the volume here is amazing. So this means we are kind of like a shaking the imbalance. This is the institutional level. And I'm sure because this happens to me a lot, market will have another potential back test to this area, which is going to be 5,000 to 5,100. That's going to be a fantastic buying opportunity next time. And I think it's going to happen in months of June. later May, early June, we're going to see something like this. But right now, I should say market will have some choppy around this area, and we may go back to potentially to 5,500. We will see how it goes. Nasdaq was kind of like a leader on this. This is 4 hours chart. You see that we are getting to a very important level, 12% to the upside for Nasdaq. Huge move, fantastic move. So we are getting to 20,000 area. So this 20,000 area is very, very important. Um, we have this 20,000 area before. We just back tested to this trend line here. And right now we are getting close. We may see some kind of like a false breakout, but we need to get above this 20,000. If we get above 20,000, pullback could be a good buying opportunity to 20,000 or 21,000 area. But after that, I'm not sure if market can just get back for a bigger correction to the downside. Again, this is kind of like a nice spark to the upside. This is the top of this W pattern here. And this W pattern needs to be tested. So don't be surprised if you see Nasdaq is getting back down to 18,300 for a nice buying opportunity, at least for another bounce to the upside. So that would be kind of like a nice reverse head and shoulder, and that would be more bullish pattern um, compared to the pattern right now. The pattern today was fantastic. This is kind of like the institutional level. We got into long position here, exactly here, and nicely just getting back to the upside. Fantastic move. I didn't expect this happens, but we closed our long position. We're waiting for another potential buying opportunity. We will see how it goes. Dow Jones, another kind of like a mover to the upside. Dow just nicely react to this 36,900, 37,000, nicely sparking higher to this important supply area. Why supply area? Just because previously it was support and now breaking through to the downside. We may see some kind of like another potential rally to here to 41,200 to 41,500, then getting back to the downside for a test around this area, which is going to be 39,000 area. So 39,000, top of this pivotal point, middle of this wide range bar could be a great buying opportunity, waiting for that pullback. So in the bear market also, we see lots of good rallies, fantastic rallies, insane rallies. I'm not saying we are in a bear market, but this is a great example of ecstasy relief rally in a very, very sharp capitulation to the downside. Moving on to gold, which had a fantastic move as well. Gold just recapturing nicely this trend line. I should say gold is finishing its corrective move in a daily chart and getting back to the upside. Potentially 32 to 3,300 is coming down the road. Silver is the same. Actually, it has like a better price action here. Look at this pivotal point here. This is a demand area for silver. And nicely, we just got back above into its bullish momentum. We got into this resistance here, but this resistance can be just breaking through to the upside. 32.47 is coming down the road. Let's go to crude just because I believe crude has been bottom. And this bottom is going to be multi-months bottom for crude. I was waiting for 51 to 53, but it stops at, let's say, 55. That's fine. In this sharp sell-off, it could have stretched to this area. But this area is very, very important just because you're saying this is the consolidation on a weekly consolidation previously just initiate this rally to the upside, never test that. So right now we just got back to this area pretty close. And this 51 to 53 could be kind of like the demand area. We got very close and nicely getting back to the upside. So crude recaptured $60, which is bullish. Very, very nice scenario. We can go back to $70 area-ish. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to Bitcoin, 9% to the upside. Great move for Bitcoin today, 83,000. And if we break through above this 88,000, needs to be recovered. And if we go above 88,000, new bull market for Bitcoin is coming. I would say still Bitcoin will have tough days, especially June, July. It's going to be bad days for Bitcoin and crypto. So we'll see how it goes. Ethereum is the same, just a recapturing nicely, going all the way up to 1600. This is going to be a good relief rally, I should say. Ethereum can go higher to 2000 even. So even if it goes to 2000, we shouldn't just be bullish. I think that's going to be a nice relief rally, and Ethereum can go back down again in months of June, July. US bond yield just sparking higher today. Crazy move. Recaptured 4%, coming down 3.91. Stop there. And TLT Treasury just capitulated to the downside today, going all the way up. Everything was on buy today. So this is interesting. Regardless if you are in recession or bull market, everything was in buy. TLT just going up 88 after going all the way down to 86. VIX slaughtered today, just going down. And this is the scenario that we should just be bullish, at least for a short term for VIX. Just it's going down. I know it's 33, but VIX can find a support here around 27 to 30. So we'll see. There are lots of support here on VIX, and there's going to be a potential resistance on top of us in the stock market. So if you see next 2-3 days, we will see like a slow rally, topping formation, getting back to the downside in the stock market. VIX is going to form the bottom around this area. DXY just forming kind of like a bullish candle here. Dollar got a strength, and it may go higher to 105. Apple, fantastic move today, 9% to the upside, 198. Apple almost recaptured 200, just $1, 15 cents up. It's going to be recaptured 200. I would say Apple can go all the way up to 220. Another 10% is going to be potential scenario. 210 is going to be very foreseeable scenario for Apple. And this is going to be a great bounce. Amazon just going all the way up to 192. Amazon is heading to 200 for a strong resistance here. Meta recaptured this trend line. This is very, very important. You shouldn't go back to this trend line, because as long as the Meta is above this at 580, we should just be positive. Right now, the strong level is going to be 600 to 640. Moving on to Microsoft. The Microsoft is up today, fantastic move, just heading to this at 327 2 days ago, getting back to the upside. Great move for Microsoft, recapturing these two pivots here. This is a strong level for Microsoft, and we need to get back above 400 level. Google, the same scenario, heading to 139, 146, and then all the way up to 158 today. Fantastic move for Google. Netflix, another move to the upside. Tesla, 20%, fantastic move. This is a nice W pattern. Let's see if Tesla can get above 300. Right now, we are getting into a resistance. So in the stock market, everything is getting to a resistance. Tesla is the same, 295 to 300. If we go above 310, that's going to be a great move for Tesla. Semiconductor index, great move, but here's the resistance here, 210. Stocks, the same pattern. Feel the gap here. This is going to be another resistance, 195. Taiwan Semiconductor, great move to the upside, almost 7%. Great move. AMD, 23% to the upside, recaptured $90. This is a monthly trend line here, recapturing this pivot. If AMD goes up to 120, 116 to 122, that's going to be a good level for AMD. At least for a short term, I would say AMD can go higher from this level. It's very bullish. NVDA, fantastic move. I would say 120 to 124. That's my area for NVIDIA to form the top here. So we'll see how it goes. Texas Instrument nicely recapturing this pivotal point, this gap here, this pivotal point, this pivotal point. So right now we are heading to 180 for a strong resistance. Lam Research almost 17% to the upside at $71. Recapture $70. That's a lot. So 66 was huge resistance there. So it's just a breaking through nicely. I would say this is a nice flipping side to the upside. If Lam Research goes higher, it can go higher to 76. So we'll see how it goes. XLF, Financial Spider, it's moving higher nicely, but there are lots of resistance here, $47 to $50. KBE, the same pattern. Here's the gap, $52. KRE, $56 is the gap. JP Morgan, 234 is the gap, 240. Goldman Sachs to 540 is the gap here. So we may see kind of like a resistance here. Great move for all of them. Bank of America, fantastic move. But here's the gap needs to be filled. 39 to 41. Wells Fargo, 66 to 70. There are lots of resistance here. GDX, the same pattern going higher, but there is no kind of like a I would say, interesting resistance around it. So we may engulf this 46 and we can go to the all-time high. GDX, just same pattern here, just going higher. AEM, fantastic move to 105. Newmont, great move. Potentially we're going to hit this at 50 to 51 down the road, even higher. And gold back is just getting back to the upside. I would say XLE, which is energy market, is getting back to the upside. Crazy move 82. And I think these ones are getting back to the upside. Potentially crude is bottom and energy market is going to go higher as well. Exxon, the same pattern. It's just getting back, recapturing this 106. Very, very important. We may go higher to 124. And Chevron, great flip-flop to the upside, engulfing pattern at 130 to 136. Bottom here, or I should say demand area, we can easily fill out this gap and getting back about 160. This time, we're going to head to new all-time high if we recapture those levels. All right, folks, what do you think about the market? Today was dead cat bounced? Actually, that was a huge dead cat bounce. Relief rally, or this is just the beginning of the new rally or new all-time high. Put your comments down there. Have a fantastic evening. See you on the chart. Bye.